Hello everybody, I'm in the Mailbox, and welcome back to another Speedpaint. I'm really enjoying this more casual talk with everybody during these, so I'm hoping to do more of them, and I thought, what better way to start this new era of Speedpaints and more focused content on what I'm looking forward to than a Speedpaint of Willow's new reference sheets. This is something I started working on back in February. I was running into a roadblock and that I didn't really have a reference sheet for her VTuber outfit from the 3D debut. So I decided, hey, why don't I just make a new reference sheet? And I made this, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the journey from Willow back in 2021 when she was just an OC, all the way 3 years later to being somebody that I am personally very close to, and kind of me and my Sona and part of my brand. And with that, let's get started. I think we should start all the way back at the beginning in 2021, because you see, Willow wasn't always Willow. Originally, she was Lavi, a character named Lavender that I made for the Intertide SMP all the way back in January through March 2021. This was a long time ago. This is a server that only lasted for a few months, and I played on it with some of my friends at the time. I made her skin, I made her character, I made her backstory, all of it was mine. And from that, I ended up using her Minecraft skin outside of Intertide, which was really weird because up until that point, I had never really made a anthro or furry character. I had my previous Sona, which was more of a human with cat features like cat tail, cat ears, cat feet, but that was the extent of it. It was mostly human. But Lavi was the first time that I really got to sit down and go, I want to try out a furry character. What would she look like? And I ended up using her skin all the time. I just really liked it. And especially when I made the edit of Lavi into a maid outfit, I wore that thing for almost all of 2021. That became my skin of choice for a long time. So that was the start of it. That was how Lavi came to be so close to me and someone I was like, whoa, I love this and I want her to stay. And then through that, I found that I was really starting to identify with her, really starting to feel like my old persona wasn't cutting it, it wasn't fully me. And after all this time, after all these months that I had spent with Lavi, I realized she was mine. I was her, that was my new Sona. And from that, Willow was born. And that was where Willow came to be. That was how she became my Sona, that is how she all started. It was from a Minecraft server. And since then, a lot has changed, because this is not her first reference sheet. If you know, actually this is her third. My first one was all the way back in March 2022, which is a long time right now. That was almost 2 years ago. Oh, over 2 years ago, actually. Something a lot of you might not know is that I was really into two kinds all the way back in 2022. That is where I credit a lot of my style and inspiration to, was the entirety of two kinds. I found it like January 30th or something, and on that day I read the entire thing straight through. And then over the next coming week I looked through all of his art, and that is where my art style came from. So if you look at a lot of my art, you can see similarities because I took a lot of design inspiration from him. And from that, my own style kind of was born out of that and all of my friends' styles, and, you know, kind of just how styles come to be. Because I was like, I'm finally starting to draw Willow more. I now have experience and inspiration drawing furry characters, which I didn't have before. So I drew Willow a few times over the coming months in January and February, and then in March I made her first reference sheet. There you go. It should be on screen right now. I kind of held on to that for a while. Up until, I want to say maybe mid-2022, when I wanted to change it, but it's a reference sheet, and I'm not somebody who's like, yeah, I'm gonna draw the same character like 3 times. And everything in March happened with getting her new main outfit from somebody I used to know, and also making her casual outfit off of my own style. That's why I love drawing her in her casual outfit so much. That is stuff that I wear. It's something I found that brings me a lot of comfort. So that is why her casual outfit came to be. So in December of 2022, I made this reference sheet, and it was the biggest drawing I had ever done at the time, and I'm still really proud of that reference sheet. It is a few years old now, and it is now old, but I love it so much. It was a really big mark of pride for me to get that done. But obviously, once 2023 started, and the debut started to grow closer through March, June, and even August, I realized that I didn't use her main outfit much. Especially in the 3D debut, I now had a new main outfit that Puzzle had made me for my 3D model. And I loved it. I loved it way, way more than I ever did for the main outfit. So I was like, I need to make a new reference sheet. But new reference sheets are hard, like I said earlier, and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to wait a little bit longer. So I did, and I ended up going through the rest of 2023 without making one, but I did get some really cool art of it, either during the debut or during the months after. Here you go. You might enjoy some of them, and I love them to bits. They are some of my favorite pieces ever. But I finally had the need to make her new reference sheets for the 7-year anniversary because I wanted to get art commissioned and I wanted to do things with Willow and have an official reference sheet that I could use that wasn't just cutting out the main outfit in the old one and like splicing the two together. I was really tired of doing that. So I sat down and was like, okay, I'm going to commit to this in a straight week. This is not a joke. I think it was literally 6 days where I sat down to start sketching, finished the sketch, put it into Ibis paint, did the base fur outfit side, then started working on the main outfits, and then finished both of those. It was done in a week, and it was a straight week of doing it, and I have never felt more accomplished than I did in that moment. I spent all of that time, and it came out so well. Also, one thing you'll notice is that I did something different with this reference sheet. It's separated. One of the things that I wanted to change from her second reference sheet that I realized as time went on was that the reference sheet was really long. It was really big and hard to send. Like, just sending a block of reference sheet felt really weird, especially when a lot of the other reference sheets I see are a lot smaller. So I decided I'm going to split it up. One for her base fur and pattern and spots, and one for her outfits, so that way they can be separate. I can send them together, but they take up way less space and look a lot nicer. One of the things I'm most proud of is how you can see the change in style and skill and quality between them. The first reference sheet, or even going back to the first time I drew Willow back in 2021, looks completely different to how I'm drawing Willow now. I can actually show a sketch drawing that I drew of Willow just last week, and one from 2021, and then my first digital drawing of Willow to my most recent digital drawing of Willow, which I believe is the reference sheets. There's a huge difference there, and I love being able to see that. And I want to talk about her spots. Her spots are something you wouldn't think would be important. They feel a little random. There's like one on her knee, on her feet, on her hands, on her shoulders. They feel a little random, but like part of her, and that couldn't be more true. Or the plant part. They are, in fact, not random. At least, not anymore. You see, back when Willow was Lavi, I borrowed a lot of her spots and brought it over to Willow. As time went on and I started to figure out where I wanted the spots to be and started assigning meaning to the spots, I realized that I really liked how they were, and that's how you can see over the reference sheets they start to get more and more streamlined and in place. And I want to talk about some of the meanings behind them. Now, I won't go into too much detail here, obviously because a lot of this is personal to me, and I want to be as clear as I can, but also I will be intentionally vague for some of the more personal ones, because there is some pretty personal stuff on here. So if you pull up her base reference sheets, you can see that she has spots on her face and her feet. The alternate face spot, the one that just covers one eye, is actually a reference to Jewel, my cat. Here's a picture of her. She has a black spot over one of her eyes and the rest of her face is white, and Puzzle actually took inspiration for that. And for her feet, those actually got their meaning from my other cat, Finn. He's a pretty big tuxedo, and on his back feet he has these really cute white spots that like go across his paws and up the insides of his legs, and I thought that would be the perfect thing to assign meaning to. You know, a little bit of each of my cats on there. Now, my other cat, Kevin, I haven't put a spot down for him, but I do plan on some point in the future to doing that. Next, I think we should talk about the spot on her side, the pretty big one that like covers like half of her stomach and like her hip, and then the other one on her arm. The one on her arm actually is another personal one. I have some like scars on my arm that cover from my forearm to my upper arm. They're like spaced out a little bit, but I thought it'd be really impactful to just have a spot that shows that like here is some scarring from past wounds and things, and you know, it's here and I can see it, but it's a part of me and not a part that I'm afraid to be like, yeah, there it is. Then the one on her side is actually a really interesting one, because I used to, like back in primary school and elementary, and even up until like middle school, I used to have these really bad pains in my side whenever I ran, and I thought that would be the funniest thing to just have a spot there that was like, yeah, I used to have pain there, and I do sometimes when I run, but you know, I'm recognizing it, I'm showing it, it's a part of who I am. That's a common theme you'll see. Now the more personal ones I won't really go into detail to are the ones on her face, her inner thighs, and her shoulders. Those are all very much part of my trans journey and things that I want to change. You can probably figure it out from my voice. There's things that I hopefully want to change in the future. But when I do, then there will be scars. There will be a difference to how my body was to how it is now to fit who I am. And my body wasn't always like that, or wasn't put like that. So little reminders of the progress I had to make to get there is really important to me. Because one day I will get there, and for now, it's like a goal. These are things that I want to do and will change. And then the only one besides that is the one on her knee and the one on her hands. The hands are really easy. It's just the pointer finger and thumb on both hands. You know, gaming usually uses a lot of the pointer finger and thumb, so I thought it might be cool to do that. And the one on her knee doesn't have a spot yet. I haven't assigned any meaning to it, but eventually we will find one, and I'm looking forward to it. And honestly, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about in this, and going over her history, how she went from Lavi to Willow to my Sona to a part of who I am to now somebody I like share as me. If you see me online, I am her. She is the most comfortable I've ever felt sharing who I am and sharing parts of my journey and my struggles and like what I fight for, what I live for. I can show that through her, and in that way, she is me, just digital. And I will never not be grateful for the chance to find her, to make her, to be her. And in a way, she is me, but also a goal. She is the goal of the person and the body that I want to have, while also being a constantly changing and updating representation of who I am. We grow together, while she also shows who I am and who I will be. And I love that. So I'm very close to Willow, and Willow is very close to me. And I hope you found some intrigue in this. I hope this taught you something new about who she is and how she came to be. And with that, I think that'll be the end of this video. Here are the completed drawings. Here they are. Here's the base and the outfit one. I tried my best to make them as detailed as possible, so there's lots of little things here and there. And yeah, I hope y'all just had a wonderful time. I hope the more casual talk was something you enjoyed. I'm going to probably have to edit a little bit of this down. We're currently at like 26 minutes right now, but it was fun. I hope to do more of these in the future as I do more speed paints and things. And until then, I've been the Mailbox. Thank you all for joining me today, and I will see all of you next time.